The words still echoed in Maya's mind as she sat in her cramped studio apartment, staring at the eviction notice in her trembling hands. 3 months behind on rent, her freelance graphic design work barely covering groceries, let alone bills. The fluorescent light above flickered intermittently, casting harsh shadows across the rejection letters scattered on her makeshift desk, a door balanced on 2 sawhorses. Your sister is successful and responsible, unlike you. She doesn't need help, their father had said just 2 weeks ago when Maya had swallowed her pride and asked for a loan. The dismissal in his voice had cut deeper than any blade. Maybe if you'd made better choices instead of chasing artistic dreams, you wouldn't be in this mess. Meanwhile, Priya, golden child Priya, lived in a pristine downtown condo, drove a BMW, and worked as a financial advisor at their father's firm. Everyone praised her business acumen, her stability, her ability to make smart decisions. Family gatherings had become exercises in endurance for Maya, listening to their father boast about Priya's latest promotion while barely acknowledging Maya's existence. The irony wasn't lost on Maya that she'd been the one to help Priya through college, sharing her textbooks, proofreading her papers, even letting her copy assignments when Priya was too busy partying. But success, it seemed, had a way of rewriting history. Maya's phone buzzed, a text from their mother. Priya's engagement party is next Saturday. Your father expects you to come. Try to look presentable. Try to look presentable. As if Maya's financial struggles were merely a fashion choice. The next morning, Maya swallowed her pride once more and called Priya directly. They'd been close once, before success had driven a wedge between them. Maybe sister to sister, without their father's influence, things could be different. Priya, I'm in trouble, Maya began when her sister answered. I'm about to lose my apartment, and I have 3 client projects that could turn things around, but I need just a little time. Maya, I can't keep bailing you out, Priya interrupted, her tone cool and professional. I have my own responsibilities now. David and I are planning a wedding, buying a house. I can't subsidize your lifestyle choices forever. Lifestyle choices? Maya's voice cracked. I'm not asking you to subsidize anything. I'm asking my sister for help during the hardest time of my life. Maybe it's time to get a real job, Maya. Dad's right. You can't keep living like you're still in art school. The line went dead. Maya stared at her phone, feeling something cold and hard crystallize in her chest. She'd spent years making excuses for their treatment, convincing herself that family was family, that love was complicated. But sitting there in her failing apartment, surrounded by the evidence of her struggling dreams, she finally saw the truth clearly. She wasn't the family disappointment. She was the family scapegoat. That afternoon, Maya made a decision that would change everything. She opened her laptop and began researching Priya's firm, their father's business, the golden life her sister had built. If they wanted to treat her like an outsider, she'd start acting like one. And outsiders had certain advantages, like objectivity. What Maya discovered in the following days made her stomach turn. It started with a simple Google search of Priya's professional credentials. Something seemed off about her employment timeline, so Maya dug deeper, using her design skills to access public records, business filings, and financial documents. Her artistic eye, trained to spot inconsistencies and patterns, noticed discrepancies that others might miss. Priya's meteoric rise at their father's firm coincided suspiciously with several clients' accounts showing irregularities. Small amounts at first, a few hundred here, 1,000 there, but the pattern was clear to someone looking for it. Priya had been skimming money from client accounts, covering it up through careful manipulation of statements and records. But the real revelation came when Maya cross-referenced the dates with her own memory. The money Priya had supposedly earned through smart investments and bonuses lined up perfectly with the missing client funds. Priya hadn't just stolen from clients, she'd built her entire success on theft. Maya's hands shook as she compiled the evidence. Bank statements, forged documents, email chains discussing adjustments to client portfolios. Her sister hadn't just been living a lie, she'd been committing felonies. For 3 sleepless nights, Maya wrestled with what to do. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. Innocent people were being stolen from. Elderly clients trusting their father's firm with their retirement savings, young families building college funds for their children. Priya was stealing their futures. The engagement party arrived gray and drizzling. Maya stood outside the upscale restaurant, watching through the windows as her family celebrated. Her father held court at the head table, regaling guests with stories of Priya's success. Priya herself glowed in an expensive dress, her engagement ring catching the light as she laughed at something her fiancé whispered in her ear. Maya pushed through the doors. "Maya!" Their mother rushed over, concern creasing her features. "You look tired, dear. Are you eating enough?" "I'm fine, Mom." Maya forced a smile, her purse heavy with the weight of printed evidence. "Congratulations to the happy couple." She made her way through the crowd, accepting awkward small talk from relatives who'd clearly been briefed on her situation. Uncle Robert clapped her shoulder and suggested she consider practical work. Aunt Linda whispered advice about finding a nice stable man. Finally, Maya reached the head table where her father and Priya held court. "Maya," her father said stiffly. "Good of you to come. Wouldn't miss it," Maya replied, her voice steadier than she felt. "Priya, you look radiant. Success suits you." Priya's smile was tight. "Thank you. How are things with you?" "Actually, things are about to get very interesting." Maya reached into her purse. "I've been doing some research lately. You know how artistic types are, always noticing patterns, details that others miss." Something flickered in Priya's eyes. "Research? Maya pulled out a manila folder. "Fascinating stuff, really. About financial patterns, client accounts, the kind of meticulous record-keeping that makes family businesses successful." Their father leaned forward. "What are you talking about, Maya?" "I'm talking about the fact that your golden daughter has been systematically embezzling from your clients for the past 3 years. Maya's voice carried clearly in the sudden hush. "I'm talking about forged documents, manipulated statements, and approximately $300,000 in stolen retirement funds." The blood drained from Priya's face. "You're being ridiculous." "Am I?" Maya opened the folder, spreading papers across the white tablecloth. Bank statements, email printouts, transaction records, all highlighted and annotated in Maya's precise handwriting. "Because I have documentation of every theft, every forgery, every lie you've built your perfect life on." Their father grabbed the papers with shaking hands, his eyes scanning the evidence. Around them, the party had fallen silent, guests craning their necks to see what was happening. "This is," he began, his voice hoarse. "This is fraud," Maya finished. "Multiple felonies. And it's all been happening under your nose, Dad, while you were too busy praising her responsibility to notice she was destroying people's lives." Priya stood abruptly, her chair clattering backward. "You vindictive bitch! You can't stand that I'm successful?" "Successful?" Maya laughed, a sound sharp as breaking glass. "You're a thief, Priya. Everything you have, this dress, that ring, this party, it's all bought with stolen money." "Maya, stop this," their mother whispered, her face pale. "This is Priya's engagement party. And these are the client statements showing exactly how she paid for it." Maya pulled out more papers. "Mister, Henderson's retirement account, mysteriously short $15,000. The Morrison family's college fund, missing $8,000. Should I go on? David, Priya's fiancé, was staring at the evidence in their father's hands. Priya, what is this? What is she talking about? It's lies, Priya said desperately. She's jealous. She's trying to ruin. I'm trying to save the innocent people you've been stealing from, Maya cut her off. People who trusted our family's firm with their futures. Their father looked up from the papers, his face aged a decade in minutes. These account numbers, these are real client accounts. Dad, these signatures on the transfer authorizations, they're not mine. His voice was barely a whisper. Priya, tell me you didn't. The silence stretched taut as a wire. Priya looked around the room, at her fiancé's horrified expression, at the guests whispering among themselves, at her parents' shocked faces, at Maya's steady gaze. Finally, she cracked. I was going to pay it back, she whispered. It was temporary, just until... Until what? David stood up, his voice loud in the quiet room. Until you got caught? You don't understand the pressure, Priya said, tears streaming down her face. Everyone expected so much from me, and the accounts were just sitting there, and it was so easy, and... Stop. Their father's voice cut through her, rambling like a knife. Just stop. He stood slowly, the papers still in his hands. Do you have any idea what you've done? To our clients, to our family, to our business? Daddy, I can fix this. Fix this? He laughed bitterly. Priya, this is criminal fraud. This is going to destroy everything we've built. Maya watched the scene unfold, with a mixture of satisfaction and sadness. This wasn't how she'd imagined her family would fall apart. But Priya had made her choices long before Maya had exposed them. David was pulling off his engagement ring, his hands shaking. I can't. I won't be part of this. Priya, how could you? David, please. But he was already walking away, pushing through the crowd of stunned guests. The whispers grew louder. Phones appeared as people began documenting the drama. Maya, their father said quietly, how long have you known? A week, she answered honestly. I spent 3 days trying to decide what to do. Why didn't you come to me first? Maya looked at him, really looked at him, seeing not the successful businessman who'd dismissed her dreams, but a tired old man watching his world crumble. Because a week ago, you told me I was irresponsible and didn't deserve help. Because you've spent years treating me like a disappointment while holding up a criminal as your perfect daughter. He flinched as if she'd slapped him. But mostly, Maya continued, because those clients don't deserve to lose their money just to protect our family secrets. Their mother was sobbing quietly into a napkin. Priya had collapsed back into her chair, her perfect makeup streaked with tears. The restaurant manager was approaching, clearly intending to handle the disruption. I've already contacted the authorities, Maya said calmly, and the State Financial Regulatory Board. They'll be conducting their own investigation. You called the police on your own sister? Their mother's voice was horrified. I reported a crime, Mom. The fact that the criminal is my sister doesn't make it less of a crime. Maya gathered her papers, sliding them back into the folder. Around them, the engagement party had devolved into chaos. Guests leaving in droves, whispered conversations, the clink of abandoned champagne glasses. For what it's worth, Maya said to Priya, I'm sorry it came to this, but I'm not sorry for stopping you. Priya looked up at her, mascara streaking her cheeks. I hate you. I know, Maya said softly, but maybe now you'll understand what it feels like to lose everything because of someone else's choices. She turned to leave, then paused. Oh, and Dad? I won't be needing that loan anymore. The FBI is offering a substantial reward for information leading to the recovery of embezzled funds. Turns out my artistic eye for details is worth something after all. Maya walked out of the restaurant and into the rain, leaving her family's perfect facade shattered behind her. The next few months were a whirlwind of legal proceedings, media attention, and family devastation. Priya was arrested within days, charged with multiple counts of embezzlement and fraud. Their father's firm faced investigation, lawsuits, and ultimately bankruptcy. The family fortune, built over decades, crumbled in weeks. Maya found herself in an unexpected position. The FBI reward, combined with job offers from firms impressed by her investigative skills, had stabilized her finances overnight. More importantly, several of the defrauded clients hired her to help trace their stolen funds, leading to a new career in forensic financial analysis. She moved into a better apartment, paid off her debts, and for the first time in years, felt like she was building something real. The family relationships were irreparable. Her parents blamed her for destroying Priya's life, even as they struggled with their own legal troubles. Extended family took sides, and Maya found herself cut off from decades of connections. But she also found peace. One evening, 6 months after the engagement party, Maya sat in her new office reviewing case files when her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Maya? The voice was barely recognizable, rough, tired, older than its years. Priya? They're transferring me tomorrow, to the federal facility upstate. A pause. I needed to tell you something. Maya waited. You were right, about everything. I convinced myself I was borrowing, that I'd pay it back, that I deserved success because I worked so hard. But the truth is, Priya's voice cracked. The truth is, I was terrified of being you. Being me, struggling, uncertain, having to ask for help. Priya laughed bitterly. So I stole instead. I built my whole life on lies because I was too proud to admit I wasn't perfect. Maya closed her eyes. Priya, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I needed you to know that you were never the family disappointment. I always was. And everyone was too blinded by my fake success to see it. The line was quiet, except for the sound of Priya crying. I'm sorry, Priya whispered, for everything, for the money, for the lies, for the years of letting you feel like you weren't enough. You were always better than me, Maya. You were always the honest one. The call ended. Maya sat in her office as darkness fell outside, thinking about justice, revenge, and the complicated mathematics of family love. She'd gotten everything she'd wanted: vindication, financial stability, proof that she was capable and valuable. But the victory tasted more bitter than sweet. She thought about the clients who'd trusted their family's firm, now facing uncertain retirements and broken dreams. She thought about her parents who'd lost not just money, but their sense of who their children really were. She thought about Priya, brilliant and scared, and ultimately self-destructive. Most of all, she thought about the Maya who'd walked into that engagement party 6 months ago, desperate, overlooked, hungry for acknowledgement. That Maya had wanted to prove her worth by destroying her sister's facade. This Maya, successful, independent, respected, understood that worth was never something you could take from someone else. It was something you built, piece by piece, choice by choice, truth by truth. She returned to her case files, to the